All right, and I think we are live. So I need to share this. Hold on, guys. Let me share this on my Facebook page so that we get some people in here. You guys will let me know if you can hear me okay. All right. Share it real quick. Forgot to do that. All right. To share it on Facebook, and let's come back over to this. All right, guys, let's get some likes up here. 4 people. Okay, now we're getting a few people in. So, quick reminder for those of you who aren't subscribed, subscribe down below. Join my Orc Army. Follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram. And yeah, you guys know the drill. So I decided I'd do one of these today. I'm at a point where I just don't really care about trolls anymore. I just block them and move on. I just don't care. Do you have any specific goals for your next meet to break the deadlift record for my class? That's my most important goal. Everything else is just about improving. That's it. That's really all I care about for the coming meet. I don't care if I get a squat record. Anything else, I can save all that for next year. I just want the deadlift record. All right, guys. Let's get more of you in here. Come on, let's get some questions. Let's get some questions. I know this isn't the best lighting. I don't look particularly jacked. Not like I do in my morning videos. But 584 pounds. What? When are you going to do tactical weapons movement? It's been since I saw your live. I don't understand the question. What are you talking about? Tactical weapons movement. I run a fitness channel. I run a strength channel. I run a strength coaching business. My coaching business takes most of my time, and it's my biggest income stream. I don't know what in the fuck you're talking about. I don't do any gun stuff on camera anymore. I still have lots of guns. I just don't do gun stuff on the internet. In this current climate, I'm not doing that. All right. Any other questions? Come on, guys. Let's get some questions here. I'm just going to close this out if you guys don't start talking. Like, what's the point, man? If you guys aren't going to ask some real questions. Hello from the UK. Well, hello back to you. Hello from Texas. So, all right, I've already linked it. Let me see if anyone is noticing it on the other page. There's only 24 people in here. Nobody asking real questions. This might be a wash. I might just shut it down in the next 5 minutes. It's a waste of my time. I could be doing something else instead of drinking Diet Coke and looking at 26 people watching and nobody talking. "27 people watching, nobody talking. 29 people watching. You telling me that none of you guys have any questions? Any Dom since you went back to conjugate? No. Nope. Nope. I'm also doing a ton of GPP right now, though. I'm doing a lot of conditioning work and I'm eating a lot of food. That's probably a factor. Do you ever stop doing good mornings and program something else instead, or do you always do good mornings forever on end? Well, Chad, watch my client blogs. I got plenty of clients who don't do Good morning. So the answer is obviously we substitute other stuff, right? Watch the channel. It's all there because the coaching is mainly what I do these days. So the client blogs are a big part of my channel. Are you back in a calorie deficit right now and just maintaining your strength currently? No. I'm actually eating a lot of calories. The scale's just not going up because I'm doing so much conditioning. I'm hoping to make some lean gains specifically, and I might lose a little body fat while doing it. But it's just going to be very slow. I'm on about 4,000 calories right now, but the scale is not going up. Not at the moment. But I'm eating about 300 grams of protein and about 4,000 calories. Okay, I want some advice. What should I eat at night after a workout? I can't sleep if I don't have a belly full. Food. Try eating food. I don't know. What do you enjoy? What do your macros look like? What's your diet look like? That is such a vague question. It's going to depend upon your individual needs. What made you go back to conjugate? I realized that I really liked conjugate. It was more fun. I can make gains on any system. It's not really a problem. I think conjugate's fun. I enjoy it. I have the equipment to do it. And quite frankly, the audience liked it more than the basic stuff I was doing. The audience liked it more. I am not answering 531 questions. You can go ask Jim Windler all your 531 questions. Would you count reverse hypersets as half sets for the hamstrings? I count them as a glute and an erector exercise, honestly. I don't know that I count them towards actual work sets for hamstrings personally. Jason, do you recommend jumps and sprints on DE lower days? Sprinting, you better have very specific needs for that. Unless you're an athlete who needs it, I'm not going to advise you to do it or program it. I think jumps definitely have their place on dynamic effort lower days. Will you ever go back up to 230, 240 pounds again? No, I prefer not to go over 220. Jason, thoughts on winning warm-ups? And that's purely due to health reasons. Thoughts on winning warm-ups? I don't like them. I think that's the one thing that winning doesn't do right, or doesn't give the best advice on. Just my opinion. I like most of what winning does, by the way. I think he's a great coach. That's probably the only thing I disagree on that I can think of. Do you think the Juggernaut method is a good program? Yeah. Chad Wesley Smith's a great coach. If your goal wasn't strength gains, I don't do hypotheticals like that. Oats are a great post-workout food in the evening as they're high in melatonin. No, they're not. Thoughts on lat pull downs as assistance work if you can't do more than 3 pull-ups? Well, you might be useful, but if you can't do, you could do them. You could also just do more rowing and things and build your back strength up. It's an option though. I do prescribe lat pull downs to some people. How many days per week can you do barbell step ups as accessory work for quads? I probably wouldn't do more than 2. Would it be more advantageous for a lifter to do Pendlay rows instead of pull-ups if your upper back needs to get bigger and stronger? Not necessarily. You could just do both. Or you could do chest-supported rows of different types. Like you're telling me Pendlay rows specifically when you're talking about upper back? Well, if upper back is your big concern, why are you doing a standing row? You can do things that are chest supported if you're not trying to get low back and stuff involved also. Do you still believe 3-day-a-week 531? I don't, Benny, that question doesn't make sense. What do you mean still believe? I program a little bit of stuff like that still for clients, but I don't really know what you mean. Jason, besides squats, what would you recommend to someone trying to get impressive quads solely for aesthetic reasons? You need to quit using that aesthetic word as a straight man. You want bigger quads, and squats don't make them grow optimally for you. Leg presses, belt squats, single leg exercises. Jason, what's the best way to warm up for max effort in your opinion with lighter weight? Start with the empty bar. If my max bench is 315, what sort of weight do you think I should try to get up to with a JM press for sets of 10? I know it's a vague question, but I can only do about 150 pounds right now. It is a vague question because it's going to depend on your individual moment arms, how long your forearms and stuff are, right? So when you think of it from that perspective and forearm length, because I have pretty long forearms, that's a different moment arm. It's going to limit it. So you can't base it off of your max bench. You just can't. Why don't you just get stronger at it? I don't have a glute ham raise at my gym nor any gym nearby. What would be a good alternative? I guess you could do leg curls, or you could do, Romanian deadlifts, good morning, stuff like that. Do you think the conventional does more to build the sumo or the other way around? I think they both have their place. I'm a little more biased towards the conventional, but I think the conventional builds. Let me rephrase it. I think the sumo builds the conventional better than the conventional builds the sumo. Benny, I already answered that. That was one of the first questions. Hip thrusts or glute bridges for a glute weakness. How about deep squats? How about deep wide stance leg presses? How about box squats? How about pulls from the floor? Hey, Jason, do you plan on doing any of the 5 sets of 10 at 50 to 60% on the squats or deadlifts since going back to conjugate? No. During a hypertrophy block with a back emphasis, how do you structure high rep deadlifts? Same way you see me do it with my clients, but I don't do hypertrophy blocks. I don't do block periodization at all. I don't program it. You should be training for maximum hypertrophy year round. Year round. Also, there's over 3 times as many people watching as there are likes. Let's get those likes up. I'm going to drink Diet Coke until I see some likes. It'll make me open another can because I will. I will do it. Ultra testosterone, you will get banned if you keep asking me political questions. One warning. That's it. All right. Now we're getting a few more likes, guys. Come on. Hey, Jason, what would you recommend to add the most weight to my max bench over a 2-month time frame? Do more benching, hypertrophy your weak links, eat more. How do you program back off work after max effort? You do sets of 10 with hypertrophy movements. Hey, Jason, trap bar deadlifts only for a tall athlete with no ambition to compete? No. Jason, bench variations for a chest weakness. Illegal wide benching. Illegal wide benching would help. Maybe certain specialty bars like a McDonald bar. You could do dumbbell benching if the chest is really a major weakness. But you could also just do more benching on top of it. That would help too. Hey, Jason, nice to see the live streams back. I don't answer 531 questions. I'll answer them if you guys donate money, but I'm tired of 531 questions. I'm not even running 531. I have a few clients. I have some clients who run versions of it, but I'm not answering those questions. You can take them to Winning. He'll probably answer them for free. I'm not. How much should we increase workout volume every 4 weeks? What do you mean? Do the volume that you can recover from and adapt to? It's not something you should be looking at. How much should we increase every 4 weeks? I'm not Mike Israetel, guys. I don't believe in going up to MRV and exceeding it and then backing back down. That's not supported in the literature either, by the way. Jason, thoughts on a top set at RPE 7, or does it stray too far from failure? I don't like the RPE scale because RPE 7 has no meaning. What does RPE 7 mean to you? Give me a definition of what that means to you. What percentage of your max for how many reps, how many sets from failure, how many reps from failure, right? RPE is a meaningless scale. I don't like it. I don't use it. It's too ambiguous. Jason, do you have any athletes that are not natty? Obviously. Jason, do you still take K2 and D3? Yes, every day. Hey, Jason. Oh, what a weirdo. One of these weird freaks. Bye-bye. Asking about squat plugs. If you are naturally explosive, is it a good idea to run a 4-day max effort on conjugate removing speed work? No. How much do we have to pay for 531 questions? I don't know, minimum of $5. You could give 100 and I'll give you a really in-depth answer. But I got sick of 531 questions. I almost quit doing live streams because I was getting nothing but 531 questions. It's not my program. It's not my system. Right? Not my program. Do you think linear periodization type systems have the potential to put on more muscle and strength on than concurrent, albeit with higher injury risk? No, I don't think they're superior. I think they work. I don't think they're superior. They work. Right? They've been proven to work. Jason, Buffalo Bar, McDonald Bar, if you had to choose one, you're going to make me pick? I think the Buffalo Bar has more variations. Can we pay to learn more from you with online coaching, bra? What topics are you open to teaching? My clients can ask me out. Dude, clients ask me everything from relationship advice to steroid advice, okay? If you're a coaching client, I mean, I give you advice in general. All right. Can running negatively affect leg training? In theory, if you're not adapted to it. But once you adapt to it, if you're recovering from it, you're eating enough, it's fine. Right? It's fine. That whole shift in muscle fiber type was very limited data, and it turns out not to have panned out very well. How often do you recommend doing the 3x20 death squat routine? I generally don't. How do you determine if your lower back or your hamstrings are weak link in your conventional deadlift? Is it the way you fail your lift? That requires a trained eye. I don't know that I can describe it for you. It's something I need to see. I need to look at your lift and look at what happens with the bar speed at different points and with your movement pattern. That just requires a trained eye, and it's going to be a little different depending upon your structure. On a 5x5 program, is 8 weeks substantial, or would you suggest 12 weeks? Also, what program do you suggest after the 5x5? After, you could run milder versions of conjugate. You could run 531, right? Those are both good choices. You call squats that look like 5 pounds away from all out maxes training maxes. Is this you, Cope? Oh, bye-bye. All right. Top set at RP7AK, 3 reps in reserve. Is that too light to be a top set? No. 3 reps in reserve still causes hypertrophy and adaptation. When we change the exercise, all right, let me get over here. He actually donated for a 531 question. All right, brothers, I'll actually answer them. What would be the most optimal rest time between the assistance work for 531? I've been trying 2 minutes in between due to a tight schedule. Is it worth doing less sets with more rest time? Ooh, okay. If your schedule is tight, I would do shorter rest times. I would do the 2 minutes. I wouldn't reduce volume, just trying to get the better rest times. I could tell you 3 minutes is probably optimal. 3 minutes is probably optimal, but if your schedule is so tight that you have to do 2 minutes, you better keep the volume there. And you'll have to trim accessory work out instead of the assistance work, right? Because again, the assistance work would be like the boring but big, the first set last, boring but strong, any of that. That's your assistance work, right? Accessories are the other stuff you use for hypertrophy. You may have to trim some of those others out due to your limited time. But, if you run it with boring but big and just enough accessories, you'll probably be okay. But you may want to also assess your time management situation, right? Thoughts on the way winning squats, i.e. vertical shins and wider stance. I tried it for a couple of months, but can't seem to get it right. Is it unrealistic for a long femur lifter? No, you're going to need to squat that way if you have long femurs, bro. That's going to give you your most ideal situation. You're going to have to build the muscles up involved. Jason, recently I've been seeing you using chains with the purpose of them, and, as opposed to just adding more weight. Well, it's accommodating resistance. It changes the strength curve, particularly on the dynamic work for the speed work. Right? I've done a lot of videos on accommodating resistance and dynamic work, effort work in the past, a couple years ago. If you dig through those videos, I guess I'm going to need to cover more of that in the future for you guys, though. Coach, on my 95% training weeks is Benny, one of my Orc Warriors. On deadlifts, my calculated 1 rep max goes down compared to my 85 and 90% weeks. Do you see this in any of your clients? Yes. And the 95% week is going to be a more accurate estimate of what your max is. It's going to be a more accurate estimate. That week, dude, planning to start ice cream. Best tips to ensuring form is down 100% before starting is to not injure myself. Daniel, there are good groups online that will check your form, right? There are groups online. I'm actually in a group called Strength Training 101 on Facebook. They'll do form checks for you for free. Check your form, video it. Jason, I love good mornings, but after doing them for about 6 weeks straight or so, 2 times a week, I always end up straining a hamstring on them. It seems alternative exercises do their place. Thanks. Well, reduce your volume on them. If you're straining hamstrings twice a week, from doing twice a week, then cut it down to once a week for a while. Right? That sounds like an overuse issue. It's not the good morning. It's an overuse problem in your programming. Jason, are there general health benefits relating to mood, overall well-being, and insulin sensitivity from getting your squat up to advanced from intermediate? Possibly. Definitely. Probably on the insulin sensitivity. I don't know about mood and overall well-being. Do you recommend leg curls? Sometimes I do. For some people, they're useful depending on what's going on with your overall needs and training volume. I tend to promote bigger movements first, but if someone just really needs the extra hamstring volume and other stuff, isn't recovering, hamstring curls have their place. Hamstring curls have their place. I'm not even answering that anymore. I'm not moving out of Texas anytime in the foreseeable future. Was short on time today. Did 3x6 squats and 3x8 deadlifts, probably 3 reps in reserve on all. Is this a decent quick fix if life happens? Sure. But did you do any heavy work with it? But no on leg extensions. I don't know. My views on leg extensions have changed a little over time. I'm not going to say they're useless. They can have their place. They're going to have their place. Sorry, I'm busting open another Diet Coke. I'm not anti-leg extension like I used to be. I just don't like single joint exercises taking a lot of place up in your training. Hi, Jason. First time seeing you live. Well, welcome aboard. I'm probably about to wind this down, though. I'm not going to do a full hour. I've got some other stuff to tend to. I just wanted to hop in and get one of these. I haven't done many in a while. And if I just do one today, a shorter one, it'll give me time to maybe do one tomorrow also. What do you think about high rep ranges of 8 to 20 for strength and not power? I do that. I do high rep sets. Coach, do you do any isolation exercises for your traps? No. And you can't do, there's no such thing as an isolation exercise, bro. You know my stance on that. I hate that word. Deadlift's worth it if already doing 5x5 squats. Yes, obviously. Jason, why are you shirtless? Reminds me of Scooby. I don't know. And this is the worst lighting for it today because it's so bright in here and I'm pale. Whereas you guys see what I look like in other lighting these days. I've got abs and everything now. I don't even know what GPU I have on my computer right now. I'd have to look. It's a couple years old, though. I don't program hypertrophy blocks. Stop asking me for hypertrophy blocks. I don't program that way for anybody. My weakness on squat is my quads because my good mornings are godly. I don't have the equipment to train quads other than squat step-ups, leg extensions. What do you recommend? Well, then that should fix your quad weakness. You're good. As a novice, I struggle to increase weight at the bench. What would you recommend I do? Eat more. Would you prefer SSB Good Morning instead of straight bar? Yes. Yes, only because it's easier on your shoulders. I like specialty bars for Good Mornings in general. Yeah, guys, the more you hit the like buttons, there's a whole lot of you watching and not many people engaging. Come on, get this out there. Give it some engagements. And I'm going to wind this down in the next 5 minutes either way, though. So there we go. Get those likes. Jason, best Good Morning substitute to avoid overuse. I mean, change it. You'll avoid overuse by either reducing your volume if it's too much or making a slight variation in it. You could change the type of Good Morning you do. Change your stance, change the bar, add chains, do them off of pins. There you go. Is there anything you didn't like about the vertical diet when you did it? Yeah, you gain fat too easy from all the dietary fat with that many carbs. I did. I don't understand what I don't get it, man. What is the difference in response to a strength imbalance compared to a size one? What do you mean? If you have a strength imbalance, it's caused by a size imbalance or a bone structure difference. Hey, coach, would you ever consider consultations for someone who wants to learn how to program from you? The problem is the consultations I do, I'm about to increase the price on them. I used to charge $75. I'm about to charge $100 per hour moving forward. But just because of use of my time, I don't know that I could teach you to program in that time. It would take hours and it would take hundreds of hours. You would spend thousands of dollars for me trying to teach you how to program. Like that's not something I could do for someone just fresh and easy like that, depending on how much you know already. Why is it hard for me to progress and bench press? I'm morbidly obese. I can't bulk. It's been months with a good program and bench is stuck at 150. You're not on good programming then. Sometimes on squat days, I get hamstring cramps in the middle of the night. Any recommendations? Oh, especially you're not doing hamstring work that's causing it. It's coming from squats. That's electrolytes. You're dehydrated in some way. You either need more water, more magnesium, more potassium in your diet. Is there any research showing fish oil having hormonal and anabolic effects? Maybe very, 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 very mild amounts. All right. Thoughts on Sawyer Cloud? I know you don't watch other YouTubers, but he pulled 800 pounds at 19 years old and claims natty. I don't know about the latter part. The guy is clearly, I know who he is. He is clearly genetically gifted beyond words. I mean, let's be realistic here. Even if the guy's using 5 grams of test a week to pull 800 pounds at 19 years old requires insane genetics, right? Insane genetics. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wind this down. I'm not going to do a full hour this time. I think I just want to do these in shorter bursts like this. So I hope it's been informative. I love all of you guys, and I will talk to you next time. All right, take care, everyone.